A lawsuit filed against Sean "Diddy" Combs has exploded into the spotlight, bringing with it shocking and disturbing new accusations that have left many wondering just how much of the mogul's carefully crafted image is real. The latest bombshell comes from Joseph Manzaro, a Florida man who claims he was sexually assaulted, humiliated, and trafficked at a wild party hosted by Diddy in Miami. The lawsuit names several high-profile stars.
The other people were there in general. It's just this lawsuit technically does sound like an April Fool's joke, but no, it is not. This is a real lawsuit filed by a real attorney.
Including LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Gloria Estefan, though they are not being sued directly. Instead, they're listed as witnesses to the horrifying events that allegedly unfolded behind closed doors. The case paints a chilling picture of what went down at this so-called freakoff party in April 2015, a chaotic gathering that allegedly saw some of the biggest names in entertainment complicit in a criminal operation. According to Manzaro, he was drugged and taken to a lavish mansion, where he claims to have been paraded around in a humiliating mask. He says LeBron James even saw him in this degrading state, yet instead of helping, simply remarked that someone needed to do something about it. However, this wasn't a typical Hollywood affair where stars mingle and smile for the cameras. This party was a dark and twisted affair, where rules of decency were thrown out the window. Manzaro describes the event as a scene out of a horror film, with people parading him around like an object, humiliating him in front of high-profile guests. But the biggest shock came when he was allegedly introduced to a man named Eric Mahias, who became one of the primary figures in the whole disturbing ordeal. Eric Mahias was Diddy's trusted associate, and according to Manzaro, it was Mahias who played a significant role in the whole disturbing affair. Mahias is described as a calculating and cold individual who was not only part of the entourage that took Manzaro to the party, but also one of the people overseeing the abuse. Manzaro claims that Eric's presence was
Joining us live. Now, Branson, let me get this right. This new Diddy accuser is basically claiming he was sexually assaulted at the freak-off party, and he claims that other celebrities were there as well.
Yes, exactly. In this lawsuit, and it's important to note that these names are not being sued, but they are named as witnesses inside this lawsuit, those names being Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Gloria Estefan, as well as LeBron James. Just to paint you a little bit of a picture of this horrific lawsuit, a man by the name of Joseph Manzaro, he claims that he had, in the beginning of this lawsuit, he claims that he woke up in a mansion, this is way back in April of 2015, in a mansion owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan, and when he woke up not knowing how he got there, he was then led through a tunnel to Diddy's house, and we can confirm that Diddy, his home is nearby to Gloria and Emilio Estefan's home, and once he was through this tunnel, he eventually came across and claimed that LeBron James was walking by in a towel of sorts, saw him in rough shape, and said, someone's got to do something about this, and then continuing on through that, they ended up stripping his clothes. They put a demoralizing mask on him, a genitalia mask of sorts on his face to humiliate him. And then he claims that Beyoncé and Jay-Z saw him in this mask, prompting Beyoncé to then ask, why is there this man in front of me wearing this mask? And then claims that going forward, he doesn't remember too much more, and he said that he was drugged and everything.
Key factor in making sure the entire operation went unnoticed by the public eye. Eric's involvement went beyond just orchestrating the party. He allegedly managed the drugs and even oversaw the intimidation tactics that were used to silence anyone who might speak out. Manzaro isn't the only one who has come forward with allegations. According to the lawsuit, Adria English, Diddy's personal assistant, was also complicit in the events. She allegedly worked closely with Diddy's inner circle, facilitating the trafficking and drugging of individuals like Manzaro. English's role was as sinister as it was crucial. She was responsible for leading the victims through a secret tunnel that connected Diddy's mansion to Gloria Estefan's nearby estate. The existence of this tunnel, which nobody outside the inner circle knew about, makes the allegations even more chilling. Once Manzaro was transported through this hidden passage, he encountered the music mogul's personal security team, including Jacob Arabo, better known as Jacob the Jeweler, who, despite his role in the glamorous world of luxury, allegedly found himself drawn into this dark scandal. Witnesses say that Jacob, known for his flashy lifestyle, was visibly disturbed by Manzaro's condition.
And the other people were there in general. It's just this lawsuit technically does sound like an April Fool's joke, but no, it is not. This is a real lawsuit filed by a real attorney, and this man claims that this did all happen.
Yeah, well, worth mentioning, Diddy is innocent until proven guilty. There's no proof that these celebrities were even at this party, and anyone can make up a false allegation against a celebrity or someone in the public eye to try and take them down, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And honestly, too, we did a little bit more research. And April 1st, LeBron James, he was in town playing in Miami the next day. So people are also pointing to that as a fact that he may have been there the night before. But there's just so many details here that when you look at this entire thing, it almost looks kind of like a screenplay was written throughout, comparing to the other lawsuits here, because it's so similar to the other lawsuits.
And questioned why he was being paraded around in a humiliating mask. Jacob's confusion mirrored that of other witnesses at the party, who began to realize that something was deeply wrong, yet did nothing to intervene. As the night unfolded, the presence of Beyoncé and Jay-Z raised even more eyebrows. The two superstar icons were allegedly in the room during Manzaro's mistreatment. Beyoncé, who is known for her fiercely protective nature over her family, reportedly asked, "Why is there a man wearing this mask in front of me?" The question seemed to signal her discomfort, but did it prompt any real action? Manzaro's lawsuit claims that neither Jay-Z nor Beyoncé intervened as they witnessed his humiliation. Amidst the chaos, LeBron James was also reportedly present at the scene. Known for his strong sense of justice and often outspoken on social issues, LeBron is described as being visibly alarmed by what he saw. According to Manzaro's allegations, LeBron, who happened to be in Miami for a game at the time, noticed the man in distress and reportedly said, "Someone has to do something about this." Was this a plea for someone to step in, or just another moment where the powerful figures in the room were content to remain passive?
But they have like over a 90% conviction rate on any case that they charge. So certainly anything that can up that odds to more than mid 90% is very damaging to the defense.
So I heard on the racketeering charge alone, racketeering is hard to prove, but if you have a case and you've charged them with it, the chances of conviction are pretty high.
Like I said, even the federal government on their own website touts a more than 90% conviction rate. So that, in conjunction with the second count, which involves the sex with a I'm sorry, remind me, count two was, there's count one is racketeering, count two involves sex trafficking.
Exactly.
Which carries a life in prison penalty. With those charges alone, I would say, especially as more victims surface, if there's minor victims, this is very good for the press.
As Manzaro's story unfolds, questions about the celebrity's knowledge and involvement continue to pile up, raising doubts about how complicit these figures were in the abuse. But the worst was yet to come. Manzaro claims that after being drugged and humiliated, he was forced into non-consensual sexual acts in a room full of people. Diddy allegedly took the lead in organizing this cruel treatment, telling Manzaro he was going to teach him a lesson. As if that wasn't disturbing enough, the abuse didn't end there. Manzaro was said to have been physically beaten, drugged again, and left for dead in a dark room, only to be rescued by Adria English and some of Diddy's staff. This terrifying ordeal speaks to a level of organized crime and abuse that goes far beyond what was initially suspected. Even after the event, the harassment allegedly continued. According to Manzaro's claims, Eric Mahias and others from...
It was, to me, honestly, and this ain't no slight, it's just, I like to see people get, they just do. Like, if he was innocent, I'd be speaking up, like, leave that man alone, because I hate bullies. But if I don't feel like he's guilty, I just feel like, bro, it's there. Like, all them people ain't lying, and then you know when a person lie because you know when a person lying, they ain't going into detail. Like, it's certain things, And people always trying to blame Cassie, like, no, bro, like, you ain't never been around a billionaire before, so you can't be around that. You don't know how to judge that situation when somebody, like, it's kind of like the dude, you ever seen the commercial? They hold a daughter and you like, you gotta be quicker than that. They gonna keep dangling the money in your face. You gonna kiss like the carrot in front of the rabbit. You see the food, you gonna keep chasing it. And eventually you gonna feel like, why would I quit? And I done got to the 12th grade. Like, who gets to the 12th grade and quit school? So if you go through so many levels of embarrassment, you know, whatever you want to call it, and then you get to where you feel like I surpassed a lot of stuff. I done did the worst of the worst. You go to feeling like, okay, I want to be compensated. But as far as his crib, man, I just feel like, man, they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? You see he quiet. You gotta look at the surroundings. Like, people like, why his friends ain't talking? Why? Whoa. First of all, everybody know. This been we've been talking about this since I was a kid. Everybody know. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sitting around to be acting like it's brand new right now. That irritates me. I was enjoying it because it's just one type of party, man. Just stay to yourself, mind your business. I'm not even looking at you, nasty bitch. Like, I'm just like, I know y'all not looking at me. You get what I'm saying? At that time, man, you just happy to smoke weed, man, in privacy, man. We were just happy to get away from everybody and get our weed in the air. Like, when I hear stuff about Puffy right now, I'm like, yo, how far this nigga done came? Because if anybody can remember, it was an episode where he put us off his bus for smoking cigarettes. Now I hear the nigga smoke cigarettes, he do drugs, he do this and that. Like, what? This nigga was disciplined. This nigga hated cigarette smoke. He couldn't read. Like, people didn't know that. Like, he had a dyslexia. He couldn't read. The nigga was like, he couldn't read. Like, his reading was slow. Yeah, he had to learn how to read. Like, when we was there, he was like, there was like a secret, but he couldn't read. Puffy couldn't read. Like, I'm not lying. Like, the nigga couldn't read. Like, well. And you can still see it with his acting and stuff like that. That's probably why he won't get a lot of gigs that got teleprompters and stuff like that. But I be listening to him now, and I'm like, yo, he done got better. Like, you know what I'm saying? He done got better now with his speech, education, everything, but he just couldn't read like that. Like, that's what they told me, and I hear the nigga reading some shit, he be stuttering and shit. I'm like, oh, maybe it's true.
Diddy's inner circle continued to intimidate him, issuing death threats and even attempting to kidnap his child to silence him. The disturbing part of the story is that Manzaro says he can prove these claims through surveillance footage, medical records, and witness testimonies that corroborate his version of events. His lawyer argues that the statute of limitations for these crimes was extended because of the threats and intimidation he faced for years, preventing him from coming forward earlier. With a trial set for May 2025, Diddy's future is hanging. In the balance, the courtroom will be the arena where these explosive allegations will be tested. Will the truth finally come out, or will this case turn into another celebrity scandal that is swept under the rug? As the trial date approaches, people are asking whether Diddy's image as a successful mogul, businessman, and media mogul can withstand the weight of these accusations. The outcome of this case could change the course of his career, potentially revealing a side to the entertainment industry that many never expected. Diddy's legal team has wasted no time in responding to the accusations, calling the lawsuit a desperate grab for headlines. But the more details emerge, the more these claims seem to ring true. With powerful figures allegedly involved in covering up the events, this lawsuit raises serious questions about how far the abuse went and who was involved in keeping it hidden. Is Diddy's reputation as a successful mogul simply a facade, or is there truth to these shocking accusations? As we dive deeper into this case, the questions continue to pile up. What really happened behind the closed doors of Diddy's parties? Did the celebrities mentioned in the lawsuit witness the horrors described by Manzaro? And what will be the final outcome of the trial? Stay tuned for the next chapter in this ongoing saga that continues to capture the public's attention.